Hi friends, Vinay Kumar here, International NLP and IAS Coach. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why, what and how of Operation Twist. Fair enough, my dear friends? Superb. So, you know very well Operation Twist is so much in news, so a very anticipated question in the prelims and the mains, even in the interview for that matter. So be ready with clarity on what is Operation Twist. In fact, a lot of people have got twisted with what is this twist. I'm going to simplify it for you right away in this video, my dear friends. Are you ready for it? Superb. If you are ready, high five to you. Superb, my dear friends. So let's get going now on the Operation Twist. Let's first start with the question of why Operation Twist. Okay. As you all know very well, my dear friends, any central bank has the prime responsibility of ensuring there is macroeconomic stability. Fair enough? What is macroeconomic? I mean, there is not much inflation, or the growth is not very less. Every central bank has to ensure that by managing the liquidity in the economy. What is liquidity? The money supply in the economy. By managing the money supply in the economy, they are ensuring that inflation is not too high and the growth is not too low. Everything has to be in balance. Fair enough, my dear friends? Is that okay? Now, having said this, my dear friends, whenever inflation is high and central bank will have to tame it, it follows what you call as contractionary monetary policy. What it is doing, it's absorbing that extra money that is there in the economy. It's absorbing the extra money that is there in the economy. Therefore, the too much money chasing too few goods and all that is tackled, and inflation will come down. And when there is less growth, it only means more money has to be pumped into the economy. So central bank could inject a lot of money into the economy by following what you call as expansionary monetary policy. Contractionary, expansionary. Contractionary to reduce the inflation, expansionary to promote the growth. Even our RBI does the same, my dear friends, as you all know very well. Fair enough? It has a number of tools with it to signal to the economy what needs to happen. Okay? Now, as you all know very well, in the last 2-3 years, we have not been having very high growth rates in our economy. So somehow RBI wanted to spur consumption and take the growth to the next level. And in its attempt to do so, it was reducing repo rate very often, almost 4 times I think in a year, to the extent of 135 basis points or 1.35%. By 1.35%, the repo rate did reduce, which we call as the policy rate. Now, just for your recall, my dear friends, repo rate is, in very simple terms, the rate at which banks would borrow from RBI. So, if repo rate is coming down, are the low, is the borrowing for banks becoming cheaper with the RBI? Yes or no? Perfect. So, if banks are able to borrow cheap from RBI, what should happen to the loans that banks are providing to its consumers? It also has to become cheap. The interest rates on the bank loans have to come down. But to the surprise of RBI and rest of the economic players, this was not happening. Because as you know very well, my dear friends, only if the loans can get cheaper, the bank loans can get cheaper in an economy, you are providing the necessary stimulus for the economy to grow, because there are lot of consumers of your loans, and as more and more people consume, produce, taking your loans, automatically economy gets into a positive growth spiral. Fair enough? Now what was happening, even when RBI was bringing in its best attempts by reducing the repo rate to influence the interest rates that the bank will charge on their loans, it wasn't actually getting transmitted. What we call as effective monetary policy transmission was not happening, my dear friends. Fair enough? Now is when RBI had to go for an unconventional monetary policy intervention to see that the interest rates on the bank loans comes down and it will spur a lot of growth in the economy. Fair enough, my dear friends. This is what necessitated the case for Operation Twist. Having known the why of Operation Twist, let us now see what is Operation Twist. Let us now look into the what. Operation Twist, as it is defined, is simultaneous buying and selling of the securities by RBI. Simultaneous buying and selling of government securities to ensure the banks have a lot of resources left with it, and it's also helping the economy grow to the level it wants to grow. Fair enough, my dear friends. Now, this is very interesting. Ask me why. Generally, my dear friends, when the RBI carries out open market operations, it's either selling a lot of government securities when it feels it has to absorb that extra money that is there in the economy so that it can tame the inflation in the economy, or it is buying the securities. Perfect. It is buying the securities and thereby injecting a lot of money into the economy. Sell securities, absorbs. Buys securities, injects. Perfect, my dear friends. Connecting to what I am trying to tell you, that's how open market operations work. Now, what is this Operation Twist? This is an unconventional open market operation where RBI is simultaneously at the same time buying and selling. Sounds interesting, right? You will get to know right now why it does so and what will be its net effect. Fair enough, my dear friends. So, simultaneous buying of securities and selling of securities is what is special about the Operation Twist. Okay? Now, how does why does RBI have to go with something like that? Let us look into it, my dear friends. Now, let us look at why the bank loans were not becoming cheaper even after the repo rate being revised so many times downwards. First, let us look into that so that we'll get an answer to this. When we look at it, my dear friends, you will figure out that banks would want to invest mostly in the securities or assets that are relatively risk-free. Okay? Now, as you all know very well, government securities are also called gilt-edged securities and they are relatively risk-free, my dear friends. If you are actually preferring long-term government securities over the short-term securities, the yield is also higher. The returns that you get on the securities is also higher. Hopefully you are understanding, my dear friends. Just to make you understand, I'll give you a simple example. You go to a bank, you want to invest in FD. What you call as FD, which is called as term deposit. Now, when you want to invest in FD, the bank manager will ask you, sir, which FD would you like to invest in? The one with the maturity of 5 years or one with the maturity of 10 years? 5 years FD with 5 years maturity, the yield will be lower. The interest that you get on the amount that you are going to invest in FD is going to be slightly lower. Perfect. The interest that you get per month or per year or whatever it may be, my dear friends. Whereas, if you go for 10 years FD, the maturity with 10 years, then automatically the interest rate will be slightly higher, my dear friends. And the yield will be higher therefore. Got that? No, the earnings that you would get per annum will be higher. Are you connecting to this, my dear friends? Absolutely. Similarly, what is happening in the case of banks, they would prefer long-term government securities over short-term government securities because both are risk-free, short-term as well as long-term. But long-term is going to give you a better yield compared to short-term securities, which is going to give you lesser yield. Now, what the banks had done, they were sitting on huge quantities of these long-term government securities. Number one, it's risk-free. Number two, it was paying you some good returns. Thereby what? You have very less resources left with you to lend to other borrowers in the economy. When you have very less left with you to lend to other borrowers in the economy, having invested substantial part of your resources on the long-term government securities, how much ever RBI is reducing the repo, you do not have much leverage here. Are you connecting? All of you, my dear friends. See, long-term government securities, even though the yield is going to be higher, it's not going to be very high. After all, it is risk-free government securities. So the yield can be very high, but it is decently higher compared to the short-term securities. Perfect? So whatever profits as a bank that you have to make, you will have to make by charging higher interest rates to other borrowers. Are you connecting to what I am trying to tell you, my dear friends? Now, how much ever the repo rate is reducing, you can't be reducing much here because it's going to eat away your profits. Fair enough? So now is when RBI went for this measure. It started buying the long-term securities. The long-term government securities that were stuck here was bought in a very big measure by RBI. Is that okay, my dear friends? Now, how does it buy the long-term? See, 10,000 crore worth long-term government securities that RBI has to buy. Where is it going to get this 10,000 crore from? By selling the short-term securities. Simultaneous buying and selling of securities. Buying of what? Long-term government securities. Selling of what? Short-term government securities. Fair enough, my dear friends. So, when it is buying a lot of long-term government securities, now the price of the long-term government securities will automatically go up because there is less government, there is less long-term government securities left. Automatically, the demand is high, the price is high. Not only that, the yield will come down naturally and automatically. It's as simple as this, my dear friends. Look at here. Let's go back to the basic question. To make you understand this, let's go back to the basic question. Why does government securities yield low compared to corporate securities? Because it is risk-free. Fair enough? Now, think of a scenario where more and more people want to buy government securities only. What will happen to the interest rate? Will it go up or will it come down? What will happen to the yield? Automatically, when more and more people want government securities, the interest rate is going to come down. For government, it is going to be of benefit, my dear friends. Are you understanding this basic thing, my dear friends? If you are understanding this, you have understood the whole of the operation twist concept. So please do understand this. This is very, very important. All I am trying to tell you is, since there is so much demand for very little or very less long-term government securities that is left, automatically the yield, the returns that you will earn on these government securities is going to come down. Fair enough? Because it is going to come down, it is no longer attractive for the banks to be there in that space for any long. All this while you were there because the yield was high, at least decently high. Okay? Now you have no motivation to stay there for long because the yield has come down. Why has the yield come down? Because the demand has gone up. Because the demand has gone up, the price has gone up. And when the price has gone up, automatically the yield has come down. Fair enough? Which means what? When more and more people are purchasing these securities, what government will say? Okay, when more and more people want my securities, let us pay lesser interest. Because anyway people are going to buy. Are you connecting to what I am trying to tell you, my dear friends? So, more and more people trying to buy, demand is going up. When demand is going up, automatically price is going up. The security that was available to you yesterday for 100 will not be available to you today for 100 because there is demand. It will be available to you for 120. But is the yield going to change? No, it's not. Is yield going to change? Yes, but in a downward way. Because yesterday for 100, if 10% was what was the yield that you were getting 10 rupees. Today it is 120. And you are still getting 10 rupees. What happened to the rate? What happened to the yield? It actually came down. Not that making it unattractive for the banks to be there for any long. Now, banks have no other way but to, take out the resources that were stuck here and start looking out for borrowers in the market, my dear friends. And now is when banks will have more resources to lend for vehicular loans, for personal loans, for the housing loans, for so many other types of loans. And automatically, when the resources that the bank has to lend has expanded, the people who were queuing up earlier for the less resources that were there, even willing to pay higher interest rate, will now come down. The resources has increased in relation to the number of people who were wanting to take your loans. Automatically what you will do, because the demand has come down, if people will have to still take your loans, what will you do? You will reduce the interest rate. Finally RBI is successful. Courtesy RBI. And this is what is Operation Twist, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I am trying to tell you? What all it had to do to see that ultimately the interest rates on bank loan is coming down. Are you connecting? Now you will be wondering, sir, but all this is fine. Why is this name twist? As simple as this. Generally, short-term securities has lesser yield. Perfect, my dear friends. It yields less. But here in our case, when RBI is selling a lot of short-term securities to buy the long-term securities, it is increasing the short-term securities in the market. Perfect? Because the short-term securities have increased in the market, the demand for it has come down. Price has come down. Now, when the price comes down, what will happen automatically to the yield? It will go up. Think a little, you will get it properly, my dear friends. The yield will go up. So, what was giving you lesser yields now started to give you more yield. The long-term government securities, which used to give you more yield, is now going to twist and come down, giving you lesser yield, and thereby prompting the banks to go for better ways of using its resources. And this is what you call as Operation Twist, my dear friends. And now most of you would be thinking, but okay, so these curves getting twisted like this, the yield curve of short-term securities and the yield curve of the long-term securities is the twist. But why again the name twist? 1961, when US coined this term for the first time, the Fed in US, there was this great dancer, Chubby Checker, from his dance, who was a good dancer of that era, we got this term twist. Again in 2011, if you know, my dear friends, Ben Bernanke, the then chair of Fed, went for Operation Twist worth $400 billion. But the twist that RBI went for recently is quite different from the twist that happened in US, my dear friends. Fair enough. The larger question that we have to answer now is twist foolproof. Can twist be always successful as a monetary policy intervention? Are there any preconditions for twist to be successful? Think about it, my dear friends. Do some research on it. Anyway, if you want to know the answer for this question, in my subsequent video on Operation Twist, I am going to detail it out for you, my dear friends. Till then, thank you all so much for watching this video. See you all in my next video, my dear friends.